Welcome, everyone, to the first of our World Cup semi-final preview shows. In this edition, we will be dissecting and discussing in detail Argentina against Croatia. You're here with me, Steve Wyss, and I'm joined by Ashley Waite. Ashley, how are you doing?
Doing well. Would have been doing better if the Netherlands would have gone differently for me, but whatever. It's one of those where I would have had a really good day. It had a slightly losing day, but had the right read. The metrics were there. So I don't get too upset about those, but ready to move on and talk about this interesting matchup, Argentina and Croatia here.
Yeah, you're referring to a domestic game, I think, rather than the actual Netherlands in the World Cup. That match kind of went all right for us, didn't it, in the end, really? Because we've got Argentina through to the semi-finals, the outright for the show, also Messi Golden Ball, and also Conan Ball, the winning federation. So we're still doing all right for the outrights. We're nearly +2 units for those. The match play picks are now plus 7.61 units, and the quarterfinals overall was actually a slight loss for us. Yeah, minus 0.7 units, mostly because of that Brazil game, which was a difficult one to predict. But yeah, an intriguing set of quarterfinal results, Ashley, and we end up with probably a semi-final lineup which wasn't that predictable, really.
No, that's why that Brazil match cost us. But yeah, I like it. I think it's exciting. I think it's going to be entertaining. The semifinals. Will there be more upsets? Like is Morocco? Will they be able to keep holding serve? Yeah, we'll see. So some of the bigger teams like Brazil getting bounced, Spain being Germany. I think it makes for at least a little bit more tantalizing. Just more to look forward to, right? See if there's more upsets or not.
Well, we're going to do a show tonight on Argentina, Croatia, and then it will be France against Morocco tomorrow. So, yeah, the first semi-final is, I say Argentina, Croatia, Ashley. So the prices, I'm going to bring them up now in a minute, but Argentina, a minus 108 is the best price you can get them to win inside 90 minutes. I mean, from the show's perspective, we don't care how they win, really, as long as they get through the final. Just start with the 90-minute result. If we had no investment in Argentina at all, would you be backing them at minus 108 to win inside 90?
I think they do win inside 90, but this Croatia team, and they are sneaky and they find a way to get it to extra time and to penalties. So yeah, it seems like a tall task right now for any team to take Croatia down in 90 minutes. I mean, you're getting a good price on it, but I think there's a reason for that too. And the only thing that worries me with Argentina winning in 90 minutes is that I do give them the edge here, but they do seem to be a bit emotional, right? So I would feel more confident in taking like France in the spot where it's a team that if they go down, it's almost like they get pissed off and play better, right? It's like they get pissed off that you scored on them first. So then they just come out and destroy you. But Argentina, they kind of, I think, are a little bit more on edge here. And obviously all of the pressure is on them, right? Croatia have overperformed yet again. So, yeah, I like Argentina, but I think they're a little bit too emotional of a team. And if Croatia happened to go up on them 1-0, I really don't know, with as nervy as they seem to be, what would happen. So I'm going to stay away from them winning outright in 90 minutes. And just the fact that Croatia is just extremely tough to beat in regulation.
Well, one thing we know about Croatia is that they can come back. It's been done by them on several occasions in this tournament. They never know when they're beaten. Argentina, of course, the only time that they were behind in this World Cup was in that first match against Saudi Arabia, where they did, let's be honest, they did panic a bit, didn't they? So, yeah, I can see where your perspective is from there. My opinion on the minus 108, probably a fair price. I don't think I would be backing it, but I wouldn't be laying it either. So I think, look, it's the World Cup semi-finals. The books, you would expect to be sharp on 1x2 prices, and I think they are here. The over-under line for the match is generally set around the 2 line, I do believe, Ashley. 2 or 2.25, actually. I think, again, we don't have an official pick on the over-unders. I think the line's about fair. I feel like a push could be a good outcome here. But I think we were saying off air, maybe you would lean towards the over if you had to here.
I would. Most of the things that that I've read and heard is just kind of like, most people leaning towards the under. I think that we do see 2 goals now. So I think you might kind of be betting into a push. I would not take the under, which is a little contrarian, I guess. But I don't know if it's a case of both teams scoring. I could see it landing exactly on 2 goals, but I could also see this being like 2-1, possibly Argentina. I don't know. I'm just going to stay away from it because, like you said, I think that the books have it set just right at 2. If I had to bet the over the under, I would take the over and think that the worst that it would do is push.
Just betting under 2 is a horrible pick anyway, isn't it? Full stop.
Like, I don't bet under 4.5. So yeah, I'm not touching under 2. No.
It's bad for the health. Is betting on under 2. I mean, I took under 2.25 in that Morocco game. At least if there's 2 goals, you're going to win half. Probably the one time I'd be quite happy with a half win, actually. But you can sweat your knackers off here for 90 minutes, and there's 2 late goals, and you're only pushing, and then you're sweating to maybe lose. So under 2 is not my sort of pick really. Let's start with some picks for the games then. This is your first one. It's a same game parlay. Pretty much discusses what we've just been talking about with match result and goals. But it's Argentina, draw double chance, and over 1.5 match goals. This is inside 90 minutes at -125. So basically just combining a couple of plays that you like for the game. We don't need any more than 2 goals. We don't need any more than a draw for Argentina here, and it prevails.
Right. I was trying to find a way to get Argentina draw double chance, which obviously by itself is way too, pricey. But, I won't go on and on about it. Just like I said, I do think that we see 2 goals, whether it's a 2-0, whether both teams score. I do not see a case, I can see a 1-1 after 90 minutes. I don't see, a Croatia 2-0. I just think, in my opinion, the worst Argentina will do here, they have the best player, one of the best players in the world right now. And I think that he's going to try to take care of business here. And I can see them drawing. Croatia is a tough side. I just don't see Argentina being down in 90 minutes. And I do see 2 goals. So to me, it's a fair price at -125. If it's a 2-0 or 1-1, even if it's a draw after 90 minutes, as long as we see 2 goals, we still win. So yeah, being able to get Argentina a winning bet with them, and they don't even have to win outright in 90 minutes, I like this play.
Yeah, it's a play that was successful for you in the France game. A 1-1 draw, and you're in business here. Or a 2-0 win for Argentina, you're laughing as well. So, it looks a good selection there, Ashley. Looking at the comments here. Righty, hello. How are you doing, pal? Good evening to both. Mad that 8 of Croatia's last 9 knockout games have been level after 90 minutes and needed to be settled by extra time or penalties. That is an insane statistic, isn't it? I must say. They just...
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And to me, it's like, Jack, he with his stats, he knows his stuff. So I'm just hoping for, like I said, I could see this following suit there and being a 90-minute draw also. But I'm just going to hope for a 1-1 or 2-2 draw and not 0-0, and then we'll still be good.
Yeah, I mean, with Croatia, they never know when they are beaten. I wouldn't want to put off anyone who wants to bet on the draw here. It's possible for sure. Let's go with my first pick of the game. That is Ivan Perisic over 1.5 shots, and I've tipped this pretty much everywhere, so this had better come in for me, Ashley. I just think it's a mad price. I mean, we were very, very unlucky with your Perisic shot on target against Brazil. He had a shot on target, but Opta didn't give it as the one.
God damn right he did.
Now, Opta have done us dirty recently because the Saka over 1.5 shots for me against France, in my opinion, he had a second shot. It was given as a bloody goal kick, for fuck's sake. Right? And then, but Opta again only put him down for the one shot he had, which was an obvious one. So Opta have been pissing me off a lot in this tournament. So hopefully Perisic just fires in 2 into row Z. Okay? 2 shots, put me in the book. No question marks, no debate. But he's actually had at least 2 shots since the first game in this tournament. So he's been shooting. And I think he had 4 shots in against Japan, 3 against Brazil. I only need 2 attempts from him here, and I think he's going to get a really good matchup on that right-hand side with Molina, who I think will be going much more forward on the right-hand side for Argentina than Tagliafico, who's going to be the more defensive fullback or wing-back. So I think Perisic will, when he gets... We know he needs 1 more goal to break their goal-scoring record for the World Cup. He wants to get that goal. He's going to give it a go. It's the sort of match where you need something, and not maybe a little bit special, but you need to take your chances when they come your way. So I don't think he's going to be looking for the assist all the time. He will be looking to shoot himself. So a couple of crappy attempts, that will do me, Ashley, here. Just hopefully the debatable one, the Opta actually play fair this time. But we're due one of these, aren't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, we are, and it's, yet again, that's why I took him to have a shot on target last match, which he did, that was absolute thievery. So fuck Opta, and I'm just done with these. You know, I'm just finished with them. I can't stand just that these people get to decide, you know, what was a blatantly obvious shot on target. But yeah, I agree. Same reason I picked him last time. You know, to have a chance to be the leading scorer for your country, no matter what the country is, that is a phenomenal feat. And I know that he will go for that, you know, just in case this is his last shot at it. So, you know, it's not a show play for me, but I'll put, you know, not very bold, 0.2 units on him at plus 600 to even score. You know, total value shot, like I like to take. But yeah, I love your play there. Best of luck to you, because they don't work out for me. But I absolutely see him gunning for a goal. So I think asking him to get just 2 shots, not even on target, I'm surprised that's at plus money, really.
I am. He's a big price, and I think he's a really good tournament player. Pretty sure he scored against England 4 years ago in the semi-final. And, you know, he does come up big for them. This is probably his last World Cup. He might be here at 37 years old. Who knows? Just maybe to warm the bench. But it may... Well, it's probably his last chance, isn't it? So, right. Move on to your final 2 picks. They're kind of intertwined. It's regarding Lionel Messi. We're going to go with this one first. This Messi to score or assist, which I have to say, you absolutely nail that market with players to score or assist. You're really good with those. It's the same game parlay, in addition to him having over 1.5 shots. So again, we might need Opta to play ball here, but surely with Messi, I mean, I've backed him to have over 3.5 shots in this game myself. It's not going to be a show play, but I mean. Right. You really fancy him to stand up in a big match, don't you, Messi?
I do, and the thing is, surprisingly, this does not have to be over 1.5 shots on target, which I do think that he gets. So for him to score or assist, I've beaten this dead horse every time, so I'll beat on it a little bit more here. Just an unselfish player. We obviously know his scoring prowess. He's just one of the best players of all time. But he's also just, I mean, if you guys saw the assist that we hit on the last time I took him, man, that pass, I think he's the only person on the planet who could have even made that pass. So, yeah, phenomenal passer, phenomenal scorer. So we get that combo of either or. And for him to have over 1.5 shots that don't even have to be on target, I think minus 111 is just, you know, an insane price for this guy that I feel like feels like he's carrying the country on his shoulders, which could be a negative for some players, but I don't think it is here. I think Messi, you know, being the veteran that he is, I love this play. Definitely worth a unit to me, and I would have kind of expected to be around that price with him having to have 1.5 shots on target. So the fact that they can just be anywhere, I love even more.
Yes, to score assists and have over 1.5 shots, that price is based on Betfair Sportsbook over here in the UK. You might have to search around for this. His general shot line is around the 3.5 mark. If you want to take him just to have over 1.5 shots, it's minus 3,000. But if you put it in this combo, it becomes minus 111. So that's basically the idea of these same game parlays. And in addition, Ashley, just too big a price to refuse here on Messi to score any time at plus 168, which does seem very, very big, doesn't it? I mean, you were saying you'd back this at plus 110, wouldn't you, if you had to? Massive price. I just talk about the value of this sort of bet. Is this just a dangling carrot from the books?
You know, it doesn't matter to me because you guys have heard me say it a million times. You know, I'm just a person who shoots for value. So I've actually probably will play a unit on this myself. It's one of those where if it misses, I'm not going to be upset at all, because if you put this guy on the big stage in the biggest match of his life, which probably could be his last World Cup, and you're asking him to get a goal at this, you know, nearly plus 170, if it loses, then, you know, you just tip your hat to Croatia's defense. But yeah, if you're going to give me him at this price and I'm falling for a trap, you know, I'll fall for the trap. I do sometimes, and sometimes it's just a bad line. So I'm just going to hope here that it's just a bad line. This guy can create, you know, the way that they shut Mbappe down in France's last match when they played England. As good as Mbappe is, I think he's a little bit easier to get at, right, than Messi. That Messi can just dribble out of anything. So, you know, good luck to Croatia. I know they'll try to make him a non-factor, but I do not think that they can. So, yeah, at this price, there's no way I'm passing on that. Don't care how square it is. Everyone in the world will be on it, and I will be one of those.
Well, the thing with Mbappe is a large part of his strength is his pace. And if you can find someone, there's not many, who can match him for pace or come close to him to pace, you do shut down a large part of his game. With Messi, well, he's got so much technical trickery that he is very, very difficult indeed to shut down. Right, he says there's some serious records in Messi's reach here. He scored and assisted a goal in 3 different World Cup matches, including 2 at this tournament. No one's ever done it since 1966 in 4 separate games. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest of all time. Where are you on the, I mean, going away from betting here, where are you on the Messi versus Ronaldo debate, Ashley? Which one floats your boat?
Oh, of the better player?
Yeah, who's the best?
Is Messi, hands down. I don't even think it's a discussion. Yeah. I honestly don't even think it's a debate. Ronaldo's a fantastic player, but Messi, just his unselfishness. And when I watch that man, just some dribbling out of, like, you know, three guys right on top of him, it's just something to behold. And then Jack, you know, I love Jack and I love his amazing statistics, but that one's making me nervous right now. I'm going for something here that no player's done yet. Thanks a lot for making me panic, Jack. But like he says, right, I mean, there always has to be someone to do it the first time. So let's say that Lionel Messi will be the first to do it.
Yeah, I'm certainly more in the Messi camp rather than Ronaldo camp if we're comparing them two players. He just has that little bit extra for me. Whether he's the greatest of all time, that is a different debate entirely. Many would go down the route of Maradona perhaps for that, but it's a different era, isn't it? So one final bet for the game. It comes from me, and I'm drinking from this. I've been drinking from this well all tournament, Ashley, and finally I managed to quench my thirst with Brozovic getting his card against Brazil, and I'm going back again. He's the shortest price favourite in this market to be carded at plus 200. I'm having half a unit on it again, and we're saying the cards are now wiped off. Everyone's starting with 0 cards. The only way you will miss the final of the World Cup or the third place match is if you get sent off here. A yellow card not a problem. So players can go for it. The referee for the game is the Italian referee. And he has had a couple of matches in this tournament where he's given 5 and 6 cards respectively. Osato, I think the cards line is set interestingly at 4.5. I wouldn't be surprised if this went over for cards, because it's a World Cup semi-final between two very aggressive and passionate nations. But one thing I will say regarding the referees have come under a lot of criticism from the quarterfinals. There were 2 especially very, very poor performances. Worse than poor, actually, shocking. And
yeah,
no
I
doubt,
will say the England one was bad. There were a lot of calls that went that weren't called for England, that should have been. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of, I was on France team total at big plus money and everything, but I will say France were lucky. Some really, really bad refereeing in that match for sure.
Yeah, I think it was the worst performance, probably worse than the Spanish referee in the Argentina game, to be honest. But referees are basically under they're under the watchful eye of everyone now. And FIFA will be, I'm pretty sure FIFA gave a directive in the last 16, don't give many bookings out. The referees listened. It's interesting that this referee, and we've got the Mexican referee, who I think is quite a good ref, actually. He's doing the France game. I don't think they're going to want to be remembered for dishing out a lot of cards in these semis. I think they'll want to take control of the game, but they don't want to be dishing out cards like it's confetti, because it's a bad look and it will definitely hinder the chances of a referee to get the final, unless they've already determined who the referee is going to be for the final. So that's why I'm not going to get involved in the cards line. 4.5 feels about fair. But Brozovic, I can't resist this man. We know he's in the position just to give away tactical fouls. He's not stupid. He'll take one for the team. There's a reason he's a favourite in this market to be carded. This is inside 90 minutes, by the way. If he went to extra time and he got booked, it's too late. So it's got to be the first 90 minutes. But I won on this pick last time out. I'm going in again. Marcelo Brozovic, get dirty again for me, please, son. And I think
I think you guys like always shop around, because I think on Bovada right now that same play is like plus 225, plus 230. Really? So yeah, if you're going to take that, I would take it now and definitely give Bovada, as much as I hate that book, get a little bit more value there. So yeah, I'll tell you on that one. I did have a question for you. We all know I'm not a cards or a corners person, but it's been oddly low amount of corners in these Argentina matches. So, I don't ever bet them, because they go the exact opposite. So you guys should probably take over here. But I'm tempted with the under 8.5 corners. There's just been bizarrely low amount of corners in Argentina matches. So we're just wondering if you had any opinion on that at all.
Well, you're talking to someone who tipped over corners for the tournament, which I've got completely and utterly wrong. And I have been gobsmacked by how football is in the international game throughout the world now, that the amount of tactics that are playing inside is incredible. And both of these two teams are really good at that. Croatia don't concede many corners because they're happy to let players cut inside. And Argentina, and when they're in the final third, they are not looking to overlap and put a cross in unless they get desperate. Right. If you watch when they get desperate against Saudi Arabia, that's when they'll do it, when they did it. And against the Dutch in extra time, that's when they started to overlap more and put crosses in, and they were winning corners. But in normal circumstances, they are looking for a pass inside rather than to go to the byline and beat your man. That's why there's not as many corners happening in games. It's simple as that. The teams are looking to use the whole field inside rather than outside. So I think that wouldn't be a bad bet, to be honest, Ashley. Under 8.5. Neither team is known.
Well, another thing that makes me kind of like it is, like you said, Croatia, they don't concede many corners. But the thing is, like, I don't know. Just to me, everything just lends to the under. I probably will play, and I never play corners, right? Because it's The only thing that would worry me about it is say Croatia were to go up 1-0, right? Then Argentina is going to be on the attack and get a lot of corners. But an interesting stat for this one, which actually was a bet I was going to take until all the value was gone. I don't even know if I've already said this, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Croatia have not scored first in any of the matches in this tournament. So you, once upon a time last night, you could get Argentina to score the first goal at -110. That's been bet just ridiculous. I think to like -160. So, I'll probably sprinkle under the corners because Croatia, they haven't scored first. That would be my only concern, is if Argentina just has to start, going balls to the wall, right? Attacking and getting corners. But this would be the first time Croatia has scored first. So I don't know. Now, I just wanted your opinion on that, because I'm kind of thinking of sprinkling the under, which means you guys should put about 5 units on the over 8.5 corners there, because they never work out for me.
It's interesting you say that. I was just thinking, suddenly a thought crossed my mind what Argentina halftime and draw full time would pay, plus 1,600. So that might be an interesting play, because Croatia do have that knack of coming back, don't they? This would have paid out in the Dutch game, wouldn't it? I think Argentina led 1-0 halftime in that, if I'm not mistaken. I think
the first half goal. Yeah, it's like, so taking Argentina to score first, all the value is gone. But I'll definitely be watching this. Like I said, I kind of like contrarian. I don't really know if I'm buying this whole under. I don't expect to see 4 goals or anything like that. But it wouldn't surprise me to see Argentina score in the first half. So yeah, I'll be watching the metrics live to take possibly a first half goal. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like maybe an Argentina.
Argentina.
2-1. Yeah, it's just too expensive now, so it's just not worth it. I should have taken it last night, but yeah, let's just hope that Argentina don't lose within 90 minutes and that they advance, so that plus 900 is still alive and kicking also.
Absolutely right. Jack says Croatia haven't scored first in any of their last 9 World Cup games. That's remarkable, isn't it? They've done so well. I mean,
I need to have a phone call with Jack, because he's just amazing, right? It's like he doesn't have time to look this shit up. He's just Johnny on the spot. If I say something, he automatically knows the stats. It's like the ridiculous genius brain this guy has. I love Jack. So yeah, if anyone watching isn't following this guy, yeah, you're missing out, because he's brilliant.
Oh, he's a man of many talents, I can tell you that much. And just back to Croatia, they're almost like a dog with a bone, aren't they? They just don't let go. They just won't let go of you. They're such a hard team to shake off. And there's teams like that in domestic football, in club football, where you never feel like they're out of the game unless you can go 2 or 3-0 up on them. But Croatia just have that knack of staying in there. So, Joe, I'm gonna give a prediction for the game that Argentina win after extra time. That is going to be my call for the game. I'm not going to.
And what is the price on that?
I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to put any money on it.
It's not a show play. You're just going to
play. No. Which means that's a banker now, isn't it? I'm not going to put any money on it. But that is going to be my overall prediction for this tie.
Well, I did give a lean. Remember France, England? I was like, France to win and both teams to score at a ridiculous plus 420. I might look at the same thing here, a little sprinkle on Argentina to win and both teams to score. Everyone and their mother is going to be on the under here, so I wouldn't play a unit on it or anything, but could be wrong. I don't think we see under two goals here.
Well, thanks very much for your thoughts. Thanks to anyone who joined. Jack, appreciate the comments. Anyone who hasn't already, do like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Here's a like on Twitter. Feel free to get in touch at any time. Thanks to anyone who is rewatching on the on demand as well. So, Ashley, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the second semi-final. Let's hope we are in good spirits and smash this first one. But take care of yourself. Have a great day over there.
See you guys tomorrow.